You know, I just made it to 100 subscribers, and I'm already about to say something that's gonna drag me down to double digits. I don't like Hazbin Hotel. Hey, no. Get out of my comment section. Get out. No, shoot. Hear me out first. Yes, I know I am incredibly late. You don't need to tell me, because, I already knew this as soon as I decided that this was going to be the newest video. But since Hell of a Boss, the Chad show that VisiPop made, is actually getting, actual legitimate episodes, I decided that I'd make this just because. And explain my reasons why I think Hell of a Boss is a hell of a better show. Misa did a funny... And yes, that actually was unintentional. I wasn't planning on doing that. Shit puns aside. Hazbin Hotel, which I'm pretty sure you already know about if you're watching this video, was originally a web series intended for the VisiPop channel. Recently picked up by an actual recording company planning on putting them as one of their shows in their catalog. And so Hell of a Boss took over the VisiPop channel instead. If you couldn't tell, I like that show far more than Hell of a Boss, so this is a welcome change for me. But some people think otherwise and think that Hazbin Hotel is the better show. I have no problem with that. Your opinion is your opinion. But please don't try and harass me in the comments section for having my opinion. And yes, I'm pulling the opinion shield card here because this is like one of the situations where that is incredibly valid. I mean, I know me mentioning this is going to change literally none of your minds, and you're still going to try to slaughter me in the comments section, but I already fortified my pyramid, so there's no way you're getting in. Anyway, time for me to shit on a series you guys love. The pilot starts off with a surprisingly creative opening sequence, as well as a Disney princess song I kind of forgot about.
It's the end of the rainbow, there's happiness.
This is a musical, so I understand why the song's so long. We get a cool landscape view of hell before we finally get done with the song 2 minutes into the pilot. And for some reason, in this little cut of the shot, Charlie's eyes, like her eye color inverts for some reason. Like she has purely white eyes with black pupils. And then in the next shot, she has white irises, black pupils, and red sclera. I really don't know if it's intentional or not, because there's like it's like a multiple animator project, and a lot of people just switch between their animation styles randomly throughout the pilot. But this was just like a really weird choice to me. Then we jump to a title card! Why did I do that? Then they do that joke that you've seen a million times before.
Oh, I'm alive! I'm alive!
Then Angel Thought enters. He just got done offering his services to a random guy here yeah. And again, the style continues to change randomly. And it's so damaging on my eyes just trying to perceive each and every animation style it switches to that it becomes painful to try and watch the pilot. It's pretty obvious why Angel Dust is in hell. Because he do drug and drug bat. I mean, he is also a former porn star. But drug bat. And then Angel Dust gets his drugs snatched by a guy who, for some reason, is running on a completely different plane than the background. Like, I can clearly see what they did here. They just made a symbol of this character running, then tweened it along the line of a certain path while making it smaller at the same time in the tween. And it makes the run cycle incredibly weird, because it feels like he's running, like, through the ground without, like, he looks like he's intangible. That's what I'm trying to say. He's like on a different plane of existence than Angel Dust for some reason. Then he proceeds to get Caesar.
Oh my god! My drugs!
Funny. Then Dr. Eggman shows up, except he's a snake. And again, for some reason, the artist can't seem to keep consistency. This is a problem with a lot of VisiPop's animation. It feels like 99% of the time, they can only keep the characters consistent, but not the backgrounds or the items they interact with. This was the same problem with the Hell of a Boss pilot, where the remote suddenly changed from an actual TV remote to a goddamn garage remote, and the sniper rifle suddenly changed to a shotgun. Now here, Dr. Snake Man's button goes to being flat, to being a dome, and then randomly turns to a fucking holographic map thing. What the hell? The funny thing is that right after the disc thing and it turning into a dome, it was staying a dome for a consistent amount of time. And then suddenly he decided he'd turn this into glitch text. And then it turns back into a dome. Not only that, but Dr. Snake Man can't even stay consistent. At the beginning of the scene, his hair is down to his waist and has 4 little pricks sticking up from the side at the bottom of it. Then somehow his hair gets shorter and now it's flat at the bottom instead of pricked at the sides. And then suddenly it's barely below his shoulders while pricked out at the sides. Like, I can't skip over this because it's such a consistent problem with this. Sometimes even the character designs are just straight up inconsistent. I don't want to have to be like this, but this is making my brain hurt. You know what? I'm gonna just... Dr. Egg Snake decides that he's gonna explain his plan to his egg minions, and now his hat has teeth, suddenly. Despite the fact it didn't have teeth in the previous shots. And then suddenly somebody says words, and yeets a fucking full power grenade inside of the ship. And then Cherry Bomb shows up. That's apparently her name. I only read it from the credits. And then 666 News, because that clever. Then it's explained that demons are apparently territorial and they are taking territory around the entirety of hell. And that there's an event every year called the Cleansing where a bunch of demons are killed because there's not enough space in hell. Some have said people who were killed had territory around hell, which demons are now fighting over. Which is apparently the reason why Dr. Egg Snake and Cherry Bomb are there. And then there is a joke that happens.
For that hotspot!
And I'd sure like to nail her hotspot.
You are a lip dick jackass, Tom. Or should I say, no.
Funny.
Coming up next, we have an exclusive interview with the daughter of Hell's own head honcho.
Why did her hands crack when she did that? Then Charlie and the girl I can't bother to remember the name of, who apparently provided the vocals for the mom in Friday Night Funkin', get ready for her big interview. Then Nameless Girl says, you fucking don't. She tells her not to sing, like very specifically tells her not to sing, which I'm honestly all for. She is so far the most sensible character in the series. But we all know Charlie's gonna do it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Then the art style changes like 20 times in the span of a minute.
But life isn't a musical, hun.
So that was a fucking lie.
Life isn't a musical, she says, in Hazbin Hotel. That page was very obviously blank. Alright, so I'm just going to talk about Charlie for a minute. I don't really like her that much. She feels like the Mabel of hell. And while not as selfish as Mabel, she is incredibly optimistic. But like, in the very bad way. Throughout the rest of this pilot, it kind of feels like she's just rushing in without a plan. And she's thinking about the end goal without thinking about the steps required to get to said end goal. And while she's not the worst character here, she's definitely not the best. That still goes to Nameless. Anyway, let's keep going. Charlie fakes a British accent and then walks on stage. Katie Killjoy's a bitch. I'm starting to think that like literally every part of Katie Killjoy's body just like snaps every movement she makes, because for some reason there's like always a bone snapping effect for every single thing she does. And she even cracks her neck in one scene, but I don't get it. I don't get the point of it. Interview happens, and then song, as you expected. And we see a certain somebody that in the middle of this sort of thing, alright? Now remember how I said Nameless was the best character? I lied. Now this song actually isn't that bad if it wasn't for the little end bit with like the background singers. Charlie's vocals were more than enough. And like for some reason in the song, for like a split second, Charlie just turns like into her fucking full demon form or whatever the hell that was. Everyone laughs at Charlie, and then it's revealed that Angel Dust is one of the patrons of the hotel. Every second I watch this, I can only feel worse and worse for Tom. And Angel Dust fucks it up, and he's part of the turf war. Charlie calls Katie Killjoy a bitch, and then, stuff. Cut to the turf war!
Oh, harder, Daddy! Son?
This, folks, is the pinnacle of comedy.
Hat, like, alive or something? Oh, well, that's none of your goddamn business! Now is it? Would that make your hat the top and you the bottom?
Pinnacle of comedy! Please tell me that was not the generic meme air horn sound effect. God.
I'm going to blow you to bits! Kinky.
This is so funny. I can't stop laughing. It's hilarious. I'm gonna die! Charlie proceeds to beat Katie Killjoy's ass, and I can't even. Another style change, Angel Dust being annoying. There's a brief audio glitch.
He was on the line. I mean, what?
Yes, I played it back like 20 times just to make sure it wasn't my PC or my TV. It was an audio glitch in the actual video. Alright, the sound effects in the scene are pissing me off, so we're gonna skip forward.
Fine, I'll try. Just don't get your taco in a twist, baby.
Was that you trying to be sexist or racist?
Whatever pisses you off more.
Alright, that was the first joke I laughed at. This is one of 2 jokes, by the way. Another weird car shot for some reason that's just like the other shot with the guy who stole Angel Dust's Angel Dust. Skip to the best part of the pilot.
Maggie?
May I speak now?
Alistair is the best goddamn part of this pilot. Call me an edgelord, because bitch I am. And I like Alistair just way too much. The unique decision with his voice and personality, I love this character. He reminds me of like Bill Cipher II. One of the best parts about Alistair here is the fact that the sound effects he makes actually are, you know, warranted. All the other characters make these strange cartoony sound effects that just come out of nowhere and serve no purpose, while the crazy radio squeaks and other sound effects that Alistair makes, you know, make sense. There aren't any particular animation errors that I spotted while animating him, and he was by far the best character, just the most enjoyable one there. Alistair says he wants to help because he's bored and wants to see people fail. So they explain Alistair's backstory, and from what it seems like, demons born in hell don't actually have any power unless they're, you know, like born into royal families. And being sent down from hell usually have some sort of characteristic that improves their life as a demon. You know, like some sort of superpower, essentially. For example, Dr. Snakeman's snake physiology and Angel Dust being able to grow extra hands due to the fact he has a spider body. And apparently, I guess, Alistair was just incredibly strong by the time he died and came down with a hell of a lot of power. He basically just bitches over every single overlord and becomes basically like fucking demon god. And he broadcasts all of his carnage for the entirety of hell to see. So far, Alistair remains the coolest character here. Speaking of characters, let's talk about Angel Dust for a second. When I first watched this pilot a year ago, I fucking hated Angel Dust. And I don't really like him now, but I don't despise him as much as I did before. Angel Dust is the comedic relief sort of character, and to me, he's just not that funny. Most of his jokes just end up revolving around ha-ha, sex, ha-ha, drug bag. The humor he generated seemed to be pretty, you know, like juvenile, if that's the right word. It just seemed childish rather than actually funny, especially for an adult series. The only parts I really enjoyed out of Angel Dust were the action moments where he wasn't trying to make jokes all the time and was actually, you know, like kicking ass. That was the only time I enjoyed Angel Dust's existence. Anyway, enough about Angel Dust. Alistair starts summoning other demon guys and the second best character in the series, Husker, the gambling demon cat thing. He has no significance to the plot, and I still love him for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, he also introduces Nifty, who mistakes Angel Dust for a girl, which I wouldn't mistake. I honestly wouldn't blame her for.
To pull me out of nowhere? You think I'm some kind of fucking clown?
Maybe.
There, that was the second joke in the series that made me laugh. Also Charlie Dummy Thick. Alistair proceeds to give the best song in the pilot. Dr. Eggsnake shows up and prepares to blast Alistair out of existence. Alistair summons a hentai monster and kills him, and then the show ends. Anyway, I didn't like this pilot other than like all of the Alistair stuff, which only came in like the last 5-10 minutes of the pilot in total. My main problem was with the consistent style switches, the animation errors, the bad use of sound effects, and obscenely juvenile humor. Hell of a Boss just simply didn't have as many problems to me, which is why I like the series a lot more than Hazbin Hotel. If I were to watch it, I'd probably only watch it for more Alistair stuff, and that would be about it. I'm gonna go kill myself for a third time. Bye.